Right. I tried filling all of this area in to the virtually to the cage and just leaving a finger gap on the cage, making this more vertical. So you had like a face to put stuff on. This was more slab-like, so you had like a bigger face here. But due to the curve here, and there, it's always going to be some form of a compound curve. And to be honest, it looked slab-like. It looked very, just, I don't know, didn't look right. So I pulled the clay back out. I've left some in here, so I've got a bit more height there than I had before. Now I've gone a little bit different on the other side. The steel frame's a little bit lower in here, so technically it has to be quite thick. On this side, when I built the steel box, I pushed it a bit further out. And to be honest, you can see the kind of access around here. On this, it's not as much. On there, it's got quite a bit more height in here. Now, here, more height in here, which means I can have more of a kind of a semi-vertical surface lapsing around kind of there, and that will give you a better place to put switches and ignition key switch. I'd probably end up putting the ignition key switch up in here somewhere. I thought I'd done it before. I don't know whether they're like this narrower band here and more of a curve, so pretty much this face looks more like it's running into here now. It looks more like kind of a continuous face, whereas here it's a kind of a bump and it's got a big ridge in the way. This is obviously a more acute curve. That's a way more shallower curve, so that kind of face just runs into there. As you can see with the thing, if I slab face this here, the door just runs into nothing. There's just kind of, because you've got that natural curve in the in part of the door. The other day, you need to replicate it along this edge there. It doesn't have to be perfect, you're not looking for things, but it at least looks like it flows, so the door curvature flows through here and then continues and flows through there. It looks more of a, this looks like it continues better, so. Was it there or there? Yeah. Or there. I'm kind of leaning towards this one. Answers on a postcard. Or posting, as the case may be. Another thing, this one's quite good for passengers, and my mother used to do it. It's a good place to put your hand. Plenty of distance around there. When the passenger's in there, it gives them something to grab hold of. Kind of around here, there's not really quite enough room. That's somewhere nice for them to grab hold of. The old days you'd have a bar across the dash, but they feel safer if they've got something to hold, albeit they're strapped in. They shouldn't be moving around a lot, but it feels nicer to have a grab rail. But I'll keep moulding, keep playing, keep altering shapes until I'm happy. Obviously the centre here is completely flat at the moment, but I said I just usually need a face to work from, and then once you've got that face, you can produce this nice curve on the bottom just by cutting out there you go. Cutting out a piece of fiberglass or whatever else, and contour to the shape and the radius you want, and then you basically tape underneath, tape on the bottom, and edge there, and then just drag to get the radius here. It's nice and simple. But this point here is going to be completely different. This flat face and curve has to marry either side, but this here, a kind of a roundabout here is going to come out and then come back in again, and this bottom line here will be curved down and then back up again to allow you to put switch gear here, or I may even, looks like I'm leaning towards one of those secret stereo units. I might just put the stereo head unit here, so when you're changing gear and gear stick, I can just flick the stereo with my finger. There's a couple of cars that seem to be quite like that, stereo directly in front, so you put your hand on the stick and just change. It feels ergonomically nice, so I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. Looks like I'm tearing away from the mini switchgear at the moment, due to the $2,000 price tag of that CAN-based loom system. At this point, $2,000 would go into something else quite nicely, and a wiring loom is going to cost quite a bit less than that. Plus, I'm still doubting whether it's any lighter. Still like the flexibility of it, but I just don't think it's going to be massively lighter at all. There's a lot of it. So anyway, that's where I'm going so far.